Do you know the rate in which you get things done, how fast you get things done, and how fast you communicate with people is perceived as your competence level? Welcome to Samurai Innovation. Yes, it's true. A lot of people in today's day and age will evaluate you by how fast you get things done, not necessarily the quality of what you get done. Again, speed is perceived as competence today. Let me tell you a story as to how I got onto this whole concept. Many years ago, I was working with a client and she said to me, you know, Shane, you have these two managers that are working for you. And so we'll just call it Manager A and Manager B. She said, Manager A can get back to me instantaneously. If I phone and leave a voicemail, he calls me back in 10 minutes. If I email him, he emails me back in 25 seconds. And she said, I love Manager A. He's amazing. He's always taking care of me. I said, okay, that's interesting. Thanks for the feedback. Then she said, okay, but you got Manager B. And I said, okay, Manager B. Manager B's worked with us for a long time. He's a very credible individual, and this is one of the most thorough guys that I personally know. So back to the story, she says to me, yeah, Manager B, I'll send him an email, I'll phone him, I'll ask him to get me a report or something like that, and it takes sometimes maybe a day and a half to get back to me. And I said, well, how do you feel about that? And she said, well, in the beginning, I was a little bothered by that. I felt he wasn't taking care of my needs. But I said, okay, let me ask you something. What is the biggest difference between Manager A and Manager B in terms of completion? Who gets you a more complete answer back? And she said, you know what? You're right. It's Manager B. I don't really hear instantly back from Manager B, but when he does get back to me, either by phone or email or fax or whatever, the information is solid, it's crystal clear, it's well laid out, he has an action plan for things, it's comprehensive. And I thought, interesting. She is perceiving the Manager A to be more competent in the beginning because he's faster at responding. The problem with Manager A is that he would have these long chain emails with our client. And so it would be, hi, I need this. I'll get back to you. Okay, when are you going to get back to me? Tomorrow. And it's just a back and forth, back and forth. Finally, he would include the salient information that she would need to get on with her day. Whereas Manager B would take a moment, he would think about things, assess it, and then he would get back with a very comprehensive approach. So, I tell you that story because you may be judged by the people you work for, you work with, and they may be judging your speed as competence until they realize, are you a Manager A who's kind of on the shallow side but quick to respond, or are you a Manager B kind of person who is very thorough but might take a little bit of time? So I think the sweet spot is to bring the two things together. And my biggest tip to you is when you're communicating back with people, let them know, hey, great, I've got your email, I've got your phone message, and I will get back to you on this day. And then get them a really comprehensive response back to them. Now, there's 3 productivity principles that we talk about and we use day to day in our work here at Samurai Innovation that benefit us, and I hope they will benefit you, and they will increase your level of competence perceived by your clients, your family, your friends. So the first one is the principle of always work from a clean workspace. And what I mean by this is you cannot work and create in a pile of rubble. So make sure that the desk space in front of you or the laptop you're working on, the computer screen, the word processing document, whatever it is starting from a clean space that you can then lay in your thoughts and your work. So that's the first tip. Number 2, always start from a template and never a blank page. Always start from a template and never a blank page. So many times I've seen people just sitting there staring at their computer screen or staring at a blank sheet of paper and they're going, I don't know, and they're doodling and they're doing all sorts of stuff. If they would have pulled a template out and started from that, wow. I mean, templates exist everywhere. And we're going to show you on our website, there'll be a link on this video at the end, where you can click in and we'll show you some templates. But always starting with a template is so much easier. The salesman never goes with a blank sheet of paper and writes down every single thing that the person ordering needs. No, he has an order form. And so he has an order form that guides him through the process, make sure he gets the customer name, the shipping information, the payment information, the order, taxes, any add-on items that need to be added to it. He's got that whole thing done. Companies have vast template libraries of letters and proposals and documents and customer service responses and all that kind of stuff that already exists that you just need to take off the shelf, make a few changes to it, send it back out. Now, if you've got great templates around you and you can make those quick changes, you will be a speedy person. You'll be a person that's getting a lot of things done quickly, and people will say, wow, how on earth did he or she get me that response in such a short amount of time? Your customer service team should all be working from templates that they have that gives them the information that they need to answer the questions for the customer really quickly. They shouldn't be generating things from a blank email screen if they're responding by email or having the same conversation over and over. So again, always start from a template. It will cut your speed of starting a project down drastically. I always start from a template, and it's really served me well, and I hope it serves you well as well. The third one is always get all your stuff in one place. If you have all the documents and all the project files and the receipts and papers and files and all that stuff in one place, then you can get to work quickly. Productivity experts like Stephen Covey and Brian Tracy and David Allen, they've said routinely over the years, and sometimes they differ a little bit, but over the years they've said that starting a project takes anywhere from 12 to 20 minutes of time to get going because you're sorting yourself out. And if you now have to look for one critical piece of the information that you need, you might be looking for 25 or 30 minutes of time. And then somebody interrupts you, and then it's a longer process. So again, if you start with everything in one place and you have all your data and your information in one place, that will really work well and serve you well. So just a short video today to help you along with a great tip. Let me know how it works for you. You can either leave a comment on our site here, or you can email me at shane@samuraiinnovation.com. Domo arigato.